record this. So good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So we got open enrollment that's happening right now. Got extended out to January 15th. I think that is a huge opportunity that a lot of you guys need to hop on. Cross-selling galore. I had sent over a referral to Rob, and if I'm not mistaken, Rob is taking the application on a life insurance sale. The guy wanted health insurance, but we were able to cross-sell a life insurance policy because of the living benefits. And so that, in my opinion, is something that everybody needs to heavily be talking about, because more people are prone to talk to you about a health insurance case first before they're willing to talk to you about a life insurance case. But if you talk health, you can build enough rapport and cross-sell yourself into the life, the disability, the hospital indemnity, the dental, the visions, all the other stuff just kind of follows right along, okay? Just to kind of give you, little heads up on that piece. I've written some decent life cases through health insurance conversations. Last year, I remember doing a $200 a month IUL with NLG because the client had a $400 a month budget that he was willing to spend on health insurance. When I got him a health insurance policy and he qualified for the Affordable Care Act, his health insurance was like $60 a month. And he had a great health insurance plan. I added a dental and a vision to that for another $60. So now he's at $120 from the $400 a month he was willing to spend. And then what we did on top of that is we put $200 a month into an IUL because I wanted to talk to him about tax-free retirement, cash accumulation, living benefits, and all that stuff, and really just having a holistic plan in place and sticking to the $400 budget. I was able to stay $80 under the budget and write up all that business. And if you think about, an NLG IUL, $200 a month is $2,400 of annual premium, right? Even if I was just an associate, an entry-level associate at a 65% comp, that means $2,400 of annual premium by 65. That's a $1,560 commission from a health insurance lead, literally from a health lead. So, I think it's well worth everybody talking about it. Even if you don't have the health license, you have a life license, refer the health out to Rob, let Rob cross-sell the life. And if he captures that extra business, guess what? You get to get put on it for the split on the life side. And on the health side, you'll get a referral fee just for referring it over. So it's still heavily worth it, you talking about it, right? It's what everybody's talking about right now. If you guys have seen me posting different flyers that I've been capturing and posting on the Voxer, all I'm doing is capturing flyers that I see on Facebook, screenshotting them, clipping them, and then boom, sending them off. So hang on. Sorry.
When is the last day for health to sign up?
Well, Rob just mentioned that it's to the 15th of this month if you want to have January 1st effective coverage. After December 15th, there's certain states that are still keeping their open enrollment period open, but you won't get insurance until February. Are you asking in reference to anyone in particular, like a particular state?
No, I was just asking for, like, if I run across anyone here in Texas that
Gotcha.
So I can refer them out.
Sure, gotcha. Okay. Okay. Rob, do you know anything on that with Texas?
I'm trying to find out right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What about Medicare? Is it still the 7th, or did it get extended too?
I think that's today, right? Rob, Howard, what is that?
Medicare, if you open enrollment finishes tomorrow.
Okay.
So December
Yeah.
7th for Medicare, unless you already have a Medicare Advantage plan. If you have a Medicare Advantage plan, then it will go till March 31st.
There are.
There you go, guys.
They make it complicated, but yeah, just see if they've got a plan or not.
Yeah, because I got one, but
Texas is January 15th.
It's just taking a while to get it done.
I see a couple questions popping up here real quick. Virginia and DMV area. CJ, what does that mean? He was asking.
It was more so like for the healthcare. Does that like what is the deadline for that for as far as like the Virginia, Maryland, DC area?
Gotcha. So, okay.
So
Rob,
I
you know
actually
the answers to that,
posted-
Virginia, Maryland.
I just posted a link on the
Okay.
chat. I'm sorry, in Voxer chat.
Okay.
Yeah, once you
Okay.
click on it, all the different states are gonna come down.
Because
There
I
you
know
go.
they have like they generally like extend it like usually past the end date, like which is usually like the first, and then they extend it like another 15 days,
So I have the
depending
list in front of me. What were the states?
like the Virginia, DC, Maryland.
Virginia, yes. Maryland, no.
Virginia, yes, I see. Oh yeah, this is a pretty cool website. Very cool. Guys, copy that website right there that he just posted. I'm gonna save it right now in my notes.
Yeah.
we can.
No, it is. States open enrollment for 22. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes. Maryland, yes.
Yeah, because like they all usually have the same range except for like out of Maryland, like
Yeah, Vermont is one of the only states that's really
it's sketchy.
not extending it.
Like
Yeah.
that.
And Idaho. So it looks
Jay,
like Vermont,
You got some
Idaho are the
experience in
only
that
two states.
world.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And you said that was posted on what again?
On Voxer, which is our group chat. Are you on Voxer?
I don't know if I have it anymore. I have to check, but I think I'm pretty sure I can grab the link.
Okay.
From one of our other participants.
Let me give you my cell phone number if you can't. Just shoot me a text afterwards, and
Okay.
I'll get you on if need be. My number is 239
Okay.
784
Uh-huh.
1118.
Okay.
Okay, I just posted it on the chat as well. Okay.
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 Yeah,
All right.
the link is in the chat too.
All right. Thank you.
All right then. Sounds good. CJ, I just saw you message me. I got it. Cool. CJ, what organization are you out of?
I'm in Virginia.
You're in but what VP team are you out of?
Well, I kind of started, but then I kind of like stopped. So I'm not doing anything right now.
All right, so we'll find out. All right, let's get this bad boy going here. I want to get into American National with you guys today because American National is a company that I sell a lot because of their flexibility, their e-app process, the variety of different products that they have. So I want to get into that piece, but I want to also obviously get some announcements in place as well too. We are doing our Secret Santa for those of you that are participating already. We're doing our Secret Santa next Monday the 13th, and that's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So literally an hour before training. If you are a part of Secret Santa, I'm assuming you already sent out your gift because they should be already arriving. Okay. If you're procrastinating, then you might want to jump on that because right now shipping is taking a little bit long. If you didn't participate in this year's Secret Santa, I want to say it's a little bit too late, but I'm not going to lie. If you do want to participate, reach out to Sandra. We're going to see if we can come up with some type of Hail Mary scenario where we could maybe rally up another 4, actually it has to be an even numbers, either another 4 or another 6 agents to kind of cross the names around. We did a $35 minimum with Amazon because Amazon after $35 is free shipping. You don't have to do Amazon, but just kind of that was the idea behind it. So we're going to do that Secret Santa exchange tomorrow. Not tomorrow, I'm sorry, the 13th, which is next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So here's the idea for those of you that are participating. It's to be on camera, right? And you're going to have your gift there, right? You might by mistake know who your Secret Santa is if the envelope, if the shipping label has the person's name. If it does, you already know. If it doesn't, you'll find out. But the idea is on camera, we're going to open up our gifts and have a little kind of like a friend's Christmas, opening. I've already started receiving some, so I don't know who's my Secret Santa, but I've already started receiving some gifts. So I'm excited. I'm excited about this. That's next week. Tomorrow, we haven't done one of these in a while, and I'm excited to do it. But tomorrow we're having a BOM, a business opportunity meeting. If you don't know what that is, it's a recruiting meeting in a group setting, right? This is a 35-minute or so presentation where hide it from the kids so that yeah. This is a 35-minute presentation where I will be talking about who we are, what we do, what we're all about for people that are possibly looking to join TKO Financial Network. It's a great opportunity for you to invite as many stinking people as you possibly can. Okay, so that is tomorrow at, I'll tell you right now, at 8 p.m. Eastern time. 8 p.m. Eastern time. So, plan accordingly. That's 7 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Pacific. Mountain would be 6 o'clock. In order to get the information for that invite, you just log into the TKO website. The second drop down, you'll see it'll say corporate overview invite link. I need you to fill out that guest list of your guests' information. And then when you hit submit, or actually at the bottom, you'll see the Zoom ID that you want to kind of copy and paste and send it to your guest. Okay. My advice is treat it like a very professional one-on-one meeting with them. Make sure they're not mobile, driving around. Make sure they can be, in a stable location. Try to get them not to do it on the phone, because I will be doing a screen share and it's hard to see what I'm presenting when it's on the phone. Those are some of the things that I've done that have helped the success, the conversion of guest to actual agent increase. Okay. Let me see here. Your video opens. Curiosity. Your video. I'm not sure what that means. You will get it from your email as you sign. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Lucia, help me out with that. The Zoom link. Yeah, the Zoom link ID is on the invite list. So when you fill it out at the bottom, you'll see the Zoom invite. Right, so just copy it and paste it, and send that to your client. You can also send in the what is TKO Financial Network video. You can send that one. That gives kind of a good snapshot of who we are. Lucia, if you can do me a favor and post that YouTube link on this chat while I'm training, that would be good, because that is a link that I use. It's a 17-minute explanation of who we are. When you compare it to the industry, when you compare it to the MLM model, when you compare it to all the independent world, it does a good explanation of that. So that BOM is tomorrow, okay? Referrals for health, right? If you heard Rob talking about, he's been working a lot of referrals that he's been receiving, and he's cross-selling and selling life with those referrals that you give. If you want to send him a referral, in the TKO website, when you log in and you go to the TKO health button, you'll see that there's a link there to send referrals to Rob as well, to answer a couple questions. You can even answer, hey, yes, Rob, go ahead and feel free to go ahead and cross-sell life, or hey, Rob, don't sell life because that's already an existing client of mine for life insurance. You can answer a couple things there, but that information goes right to Rob. If it's Medicare related, it'll go right to Howard. Howard's been doing some decent cases in the Medicare space as well too. So that's that piece. Let's talk about pipeline real quick. We're coming to the end of the year, right? Next week, so that you guys know, is our annual TKO business planning strategy session. Okay. Some of you guys, the guest list right now is about 13 of you guys, including myself. So 12 agents are flying out to New Jersey. Okay. Staying the night Saturday night, because the event is a Sunday event. It'll run from 8:30 in the morning until probably about 5 or 6 p.m. on Sunday. And then Monday you get to essentially fly back, right? Pretty cheap. Right. I think some of you guys reserved flights are pretty cheap, right? Like $65-$70 round trip. It wasn't expensive, is what I was able to find. Lucia's like, no, it wasn't like that in Illinois. Maybe a little bit more. But here's what I would say to you guys. If you want to have a strong 2022, you need to make sure that you're planning now. If you're waiting for January 1st to start doing your business plans, to start ironing out what you want to do, how you want to do it, what's your activity, what's your this, what's your commitments, what's your that, I guarantee you it's going to take you 30 days alone to get that plan into action. But if you start now coming up with the formula of what you're going to do January 1st, you get to kick off and maximize the full 365 days. Okay. Some of your goals that you have personally, that you've committed to yourself, you've committed to your family, you've committed to, even your competitors and your haters, right? Some of those goals require all 365 days. So if you delay it and don't start thinking about it until January 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, I promise you, you're going to be 30 days behind already. You're already losing a 12th of the year already. I guarantee you January is going to be a flop. But if you're planning for it now, you can kick off January strong. My challenge to everybody should attend that business planning session. Everybody should attend. Let me tell you what's going to happen in that session. First half, morning session. We're going to have our annuity specialists come in and run a training on annuities, how to find annuities, how they work, because January, February, March, and April is tax season. That's the best time to find rollover money. That's the best time to find people that are in retirement because they have to take withdrawals out of their IRAs. That's the best time. We're going to do that training. Can we join via Zoom? Unfortunately, Jordan, we will not be joining via Zoom on that one because there's too many moving parts to that particular training. After that session, we're going to be having a session on disability income training. Some of you guys have the licenses to sell disability insurance and yet you know nothing about it. We're going to start tapping into that disability market because certain professions love disability insurance. They absolutely, utterly love it. Who am I talking about? Medical professionals, contractors, construction workers. These people love disability insurance because they work with their hands. And if they lose their ability to work because they injured their hand or they broke a hand or they broke a foot, that's a disability claim. So we're going to be talking about that as well too. Not to mention the fact that right now, COVID, you know, the majority of people that get COVID, they're only out of commission for a week or two. But if you happen to be in that smaller percentage of people that get it, and you're out of commission for 3 months, 4 months, that's a disability claim as well too that replaces income. So we're going to have a session on disability. We're also going to have a session on long-term care insurance. Okay, long-term care insurance is another big seller that I don't believe a lot of people are talking about or know about. Let me give you a tip. The state of Washington, the state of Oregon, I don't know if Oregon's in force yet, but I know Washington state is. They made it mandatory that if you are a resident in the state of Washington, you have to obtain your own long-term care insurance. You know what that is for people like us in the industry? I mean, that's like fishing in a barrel. That's like literally fishing in a barrel. That's like, okay, wait, you have to get it. I have it. Let's talk. There's a lot of other states that are going into that world. Now you might be asking, well, why? Why is that? I'll tell you why. Social Security back in the day and Medicaid, not Medicaid, I'm sorry, Medicare, when people retired, a lot of their government benefits included long-term care, right? Medicare used to include long-term care. Now I want you to know what it includes is only 100 days of in-hospital type care, right? So the government is now removing a lot of these benefits. Welfare used to include that as well too. They used to provide funding for that. They're removing it. Now, if you're asking yourself, why in the hell is the government removing these benefits that have been around for so many years? It's simple. It's called Social Security income. There's so many people right now that are going unclaimed. So many, I'm talking 76 million baby boomers are hitting retirement right now. 10,900 people a day turn 65, and those are brand new Social Security checks. And the government recognizes they don't have enough money to pay out all these checks. So they're little by little chopping off benefits. So certain state officials are saying, if you're going to chop off the government side of the benefits, we're going to have to start making this a requirement because we need people to protect themselves because the cost of long-term care on the back end for those who don't have it is astronomical. Florida alone, it's like $84,000 a year is the average cost for long-term care. And most people, when they go on long-term care claim that are over 75 years of age, it's 5 years. Now you're saying, what the heck is long-term care? Long-term care is when you need a nurse to take care of you because you can't dress yourself, feed yourself, transfer yourself, or some type of cognitive disorder, right? Life insurance has living benefits, which is a form of long-term care insurance. But believe it or not, there are some people that want traditional long-term care insurance. The state of Washington requires traditional long-term care insurance. And if you're a business owner and you purchase long-term care insurance, a portion of your insurance premiums are tax deductible. We're going to be training on that as well too. Now I'm speaking Chinese to 90% of you guys. You're like, man, I know life. What in the world are you talking about with all those things? At our business planning strategy session, we're going to be addressing that. I'm going to show you how to maximize that license, guys. I'm going to show you how to really maximize it. You can add an extra 20 to 30% business premium just by selling these types of products. It's just that much easier. I got a question here. Okay, so if someone in one of those states can't do it for themselves, how does that work if they're in like an accident before they're able to get it? I'm not exactly sure, CJ, what you're referring to, but let's talk about, like, for example, you remember a couple years back where health insurance was a requirement. If you didn't have health insurance, you had to pay a tax penalty because you didn't have it. Same concept right now. State of Washington is saying, hey, you're required to have your own long-term care insurance. If you don't have it, you're going to pay a penalty on your taxes. That's pretty much what it's going towards. Okay. Again, these are just huge opportunities. Affordable Care Act, huge opportunity. This mandate now to get long-term care insurance, huge opportunity. But just learning about it is a huge opportunity, guys. Just learning about it is an enormous opportunity. I've sold some long-term care policies that are $4,600 an annual premium, $5,000 an annual premium. I mean, we're talking some serious numbers in long-term care, especially if you're working the final expense market. You're going to get a final expense lead on a 50-year-old. And his biggest concern is, man, I don't want to burden my family with the funeral costs. I also don't want to burden my family with the cost of my care if I need care. Because believe it or not, there's a big difference between, you know, a child supervising the nurse that takes care of your mom and dad versus the child becoming the nurse of mom and dad. It's a very different situation that the child goes through, right? Something that someone taught me a long time ago is that when a parent holds a child and the child is crying, it's almost like a very happy, angelic feeling, right? Like, all right, the little baby is crying because it's in mom's hands. But when mom is being held by the child and mom is crying, that's a very sad situation. But that's the reality of life, right? People don't just go from I'm here, and then one day I'm not here. Most people don't go that way. Most people have that phase, that 4 or 5 year window where their body starts to deteriorate and you need assistance medically, right? It could just very well be an Alzheimer's. Anyhow, that's what we're going to be training on with long-term care insurance. Is that under health license? Yes, Tanisha, you need the health side to sell disability, long-term care, and health insurances. All of those are tied with that same health license, okay? Medical professionals, long-term care, because, yep, that's right, Baleen, they do love it. You know why? Why medical professionals love long-term care? Because they've seen it, they know about it. Tremors, surgeons.
We
with
see it
tremors.
every day,
There you go.
every day.
There you go. I used to do a lot of long-term care and disability by partnering up with Jackson Medical Facility, which was a training facility out in Miami, Florida, because they had a residency program. So all of these residences that were 29, 30, about, you know, they're going through their 2 year residency, about to become official doctors. They know that once they become official doctors, their income skyrockets. Everybody's already prepping them in the school system. Get your disability insurance, get your long-term care insurance, because your profession is going to need it like no other. Okay, so that's that.
They don't necessarily offer that anymore, but like, what if they don't have the opportunity to like be able to move forward, or they don't have the information, the access to the information to get it before anything happens to them? Or what if they don't have it when it happens to them and then it's no longer available to them after the fact? Like, is there still a way to like help someone get it, or like, is
No,
there
I
a
mean, look,
plan
the
to
disability
delay?
insurance, just like health insurance, just like life insurance, just like long-term care, you get it before you need to go on claim. You have to get it before you need to go on claim. Health insurance might be the only insurance out of all of these where there's that caveat where if you actually need it, you know, you might be able to file for an immediate Medicaid. You might be able to get a major medical plan, because major medical plans are blind to medical situations. But life insurance, disability, and long-term care, all of those, you need to get it before you go on claim. Like life insurance right now, we all know if someone has a medical illness that makes them terminal, their only option is what? A guaranteed issued policy. And the guaranteed issued policy is going to say what to the client? You need to outlive 2 years of premiums before we cover anything.
Yeah, 'cause it's
just-
hard to get those.
Yeah.
especially
So
for
again, this is
people
all
who-
about giving you guys the tools. So when you sit with your client, you could talk to them about risk management, right? Preventive measures. You don't get life insurance after you pass away. You get it before, to protect in the event of, or when the event occurs. So anyhow, that's that piece there. I'm going to talk about one last thing, and then let's get into it. Your pipeline. Your pipeline. I want to know, what is your pending pipeline that I can get a commitment on from you to say, hey, Tony, before the end of the year, you can count on me for this much personal business. I'll tell you what I have thus far. And I had a meeting last Saturday on this, and unfortunately, where I wrote my notes down, it deleted. But I know Rubiel gave me a number. I just don't have it remembered. I think Jennifer Jung gave me a number. I just don't have it remembered. Reginald, give a shout out to Reginald Smith. He gave me a $9,000 commitment, and he actually submitted that full 9,000 just this collectively by today. He did a $50,000 annuity rollover. He did 3 other IUL policies combined, was about 9,000. So give him some love. He met his commitment. George Scaravasi gave me a $5,000 goal before the end of this month. I want to know what your goal is, right? Tell me what you can plan on saying, hey, Tony, I think I can close this much annual premium. Maylene, your hand is raised. What's up?
Oh, I meant that to be a clap for the person that who got the 9,000. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Does anybody want to give me their commitment?
You can put me down for 6, coach.
6, Rob, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's 500 a monthly premium. I think I can handle that.
All right, I'll take it. 6K from Rob. Anybody else want to give me a number that they can close the year out on?
Well, I'm confused. I just want to verify that when you say that, you're saying like how much it is the whole year premium?
Yes. So whatever the client pays per month times 12 is the annual premium. So $50 a month term policy times 12 months is 600. That would count as 600 of annual premium, because that's how we track it in the insurance industry.
So you want us to give you a goal like based on the month? What we want to make within the month?
Not make, but how much annual premium do you think you could turn in? So if you close on one deal today, and you submit the business, right? You don't get it approved. You just submit the application, and the application is $50 a month. That counts as 600 annual premium. Right? Like
Okay, I'm gonna think about it.
Lucia right now gave me a $3,000 commitment, which means she can find one client that can do $250 a month, right? So 250 times 12 is $3,000.
I got it. Okay.
5 clients to do $50 a month. She gave me a $3,000 submitted commitment.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else want to give me a commitment? Rashad gave me a $2,000 commitment. I'll take it. There we go. Okay. Let me tell you what my pipeline looks like. Ooh, Dr. Dom, I'm taking it, bro. Dr. Dom, I'm taking this to the bank, bro. Give me a $10,000 personal commitment. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Let's see. Oh, Christina feels competitive. Christina is doing 15K submitted before the end of this month. I'll take it. Christina Bennett. Anybody else here? What do we got? Cross my finger. Baylene's got 4K. Baylene, I think you got this one just with a few of those cases right now that we're working. I think it'll definitely happen. Okay. Feel free to keep chiming in right there. Let me, Howard.
Does health insurance count?
What's that?
Does health insurance count?
Not towards the annual premium, but I will take your health goals.
You can put me down for 100 members.
100 members? Okay, I'll take it.
Personal.
I'll take it. What are you at right now? What, a 27, 28, something like that?
I'm keeping it a secret.
Keeping it. Okay.
But I put 10 in today. Nice.
Are you running leads?
Yep.
Nice.
Costing me an arm and a leg, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Cool. Anybody else? Okay. Let me tell you what we got right now in the pipeline this last week. Baylene and I opened up a $200,000 rollover that we'll be hopefully presenting this week. Anytime you do an annuity, you can count about 10% of that. No, I'm sorry. You can count 7% of that. Is it 7? Yeah, roughly. You can count roughly 7% of that as the annual premium. So we did a $200,000 rollover. 7% of that is about 14,000 in annual premium, Bailey. And that's why when you say that 4K, crossing your fingers, I think we can easily hit that just with that one rollover. If we can get that business submitted in, no problem. Okay. Kelly has another $200,000 rollover. And if I'm not mistaken, Rubiel's dealing with one that's $325,000 worth of a rollover. Okay. What is the girl? What's your name? What's your number so I can call to give you clarity? Who's the girl? What are we talking about? Oh, Dr. Dom, you talking about the girl that was asking questions? Oh, sorry, not for you. Dr. Dom's like, wait, my bad. That wasn't for you. Jordan, there we go. It was Jordan.
My bad. That was for one of my downlines.
All good, no problem. So we've got some decent annuity business right now that we're looking to possibly roll over. Give some love to Robertson, Romulus. Robertson submitted 2 AMERICO cases last week when he went out to the field with me. I believe it was on Friday. And just today, Monday, it got it at Thursday. Actually, we went out to the field, right, Robertson? Was it Thursday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday? Okay. So we went out to the field Wednesday. We submitted the business. It got approved Friday. And then today, Monday, is when we got the announcement of it. So it should pay out sometime this week. But he got from a real-time lead turned into a husband and wife both purchasing final expense insurance, I think for a total of around $180 a month or something like that. But it was 2 AMERICO policies that we were able to turn in and get him up and going. So give him some love on that end. Leads work, guys. Leads work as long as you work them. They work. You just got to work them. I'm going to tell you right now, 100%, you just got to work them. So let's get into American National. I want to run some quotes. Now, mind you, if everybody could block off, we're probably going to go in training. We're going to go till about an hour and 20 minutes on the regular moving forward. So just kind of block that. You guys have probably already blocked it off that way. We always go that far, but block that piece off. I'm going to share my screen here and I'm going to share with you a little bit about American National. Let me just log in. Now, the reason I'm doing training today on American National, I'll tell you exactly why. American National has almost every single type of product that you're going to want to be able to sell. From term life insurance, whether it's simplified or fully underwritten, to whole life policies if you're trying to work in the final expense game, to guaranteed universal lives when you're upselling in the 50+ market but not selling cash accumulation, to the IUL platform as well too. They got a phenomenal IUL. You know, they have all the main writers that I like, the waiver premium writer, the child's writer. You know, you can even include an additional insured writer if you want to have one policy cover a husband and wife together. Not a big fan of those, but you can do those with American National. American National is an A-rated company. They're $40 billion in assets, been around since 1904. It's not a hard company to give validation to. Electronic applications, electronic quoting system. That's another big reason why I like American National. For my direct-to-carrier agents, it's daily pay. Hey, can't complain about that. It's daily pay. From an underwriting standpoint, underwriting works rather quickly, comparatively speaking to some other companies. They work rather quickly, and they accept third-party electronic signing software for the delivery receipts, right? So some companies that don't, for example, NLG, North American, Allianz, they do not accept your own personal sign now or your own DocuSign or your own Adobe, whatever software you're using for electronic signature. They don't accept it. NLG has their own internal. North American has their own internal. Allianz is still old school, requires ink. Right? Clients got to print it and sign it type scenario. Okay. No, American National, however, will let you use your own signing software. So when policies get approved with American National, by the next day, even though you might not have the policy in your hands, you can call the underwriter up and ask them to email you the policy delivery receipts along with the illustration. And you're going to find it either in the back portal or they're just going to directly email it to you. You can then upload that delivery receipt into your own signing software, put the little box where the client needs to sign and boom, send it to their email so that they can electronically sign it once you've obviously delivered it. But there's many times where I'll have the insurance company send me the illustration and the delivery receipts before I've even received the physical policy. And what I'll do is I'll email the policy I'll email a digital copy of the policy. I'll have a closing meeting with the client and deliver the policy to get them to sign it before the physical hard copy policy has arrived. You know, and so you create that speed for yourself, because let's face it, sometimes the company will not commission you until they've received the delivery receipts. So this is a way where you're saying, man, I don't got to wait in the mail for it to come. I can request it electronically and I can move with it. I mean, it's really a phenomenal platform. Let me share my screen and we're going to go through it here. So this is what it looks like when you're logged in. Okay, let me do this. Let me do this. Nod your heads if you guys can see it. Yes, 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 yes. Nodding heads. Beautiful. Okay, so you go right here to Expert Office, right? If you're going to submit business, right, here's Expert App to submit the business. If you want to underwrite the business, you go to Policy Inquiry right here, right? If you need certain forms, like maybe a questionnaire of some sort, you get the forms right here. When you need to do illustrations, you go right here to the Expert Illustrator. I mean, it's all kind of boom, 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 very simple, very easy to do. If you're a direct-to-carrier agent where you receive commissions directly from the company, you can go right here to Expert Reports, Commissions, and pull your commissions, and you can see kind of what it is, right? Now, some of you might be asking, well, what do you mean direct-to-carrier? Isn't everybody direct-to-carrier? The answer is no, right? American National is a company that will not make you a direct-to-carrier agent until you've written 50,000 of issue-placed business, not with them, but collectively among the entire FMO. Once I can show them that you've done 50,000 of issue-placed business within a 12-month period, you then will go direct-to-carrier to that company, or you're a VP and above. If you're a VP and above, you're direct-to-carrier with that company regardless. If you're not, you get paid directly through the FMO, and our compensation is once a week. It was on Fridays. We just recently switched it to Wednesdays. Wednesdays now is going to be the commission cycle because it's a little bit easier on Wednesdays to finalize things with our, can see your screen now, okay. To finalize our things with our payroll company, okay. So let's go through some illustrations here real quick. Expert Office, Expert Illustrator. If it's the first time you're doing it, you might not see it all of a sudden pop this up because you might have the pop-up blocker on. You need to allow pop-ups like I have right here. You're going to create an illustration. You hit right here, create. You put the client's info in. Does anybody want me to run them some numbers just for, you know, just for exercise? Anybody here? Feel free to unmute yourself. Let me know. If not, I'll make up a client. Okay, we're going to make up the client. Let's go with John Smith. Is his name. John Smith is his date of birth is August 18th, 1983. Coincidentally, that's my date of birth. Okay, just so you guys know, August 18th. Feel free to send me a gift card, no problem. Red bottle of wine, I'll take it. I'm just playing. 38 years of age, male. Pick your state. Here's a good tip for you. American National is one of the only few companies in the state of New York that will honor living benefits. Pretty good stuff. For my California residents, I believe American National is also going to honor full living benefits in California. Tell me if I'm right or wrong if you know that, because I know it was either American National or NLG, where one of them did, one of them didn't. I'm pretty sure it's American National. I know with New York, it's American National, right? If you sell a policy with living benefits in New York, and it's not American National, they'll honor chronic illnesses and chronic illnesses and terminal, but they will not honor critical illnesses, just so you guys know, okay? But let's pick a state here. Let's pick Florida. Hit action, new illustration. Let's say you want to run $1 million of term life, right? You go right here to plan type and you pick term life insurance. This is the name of the product, ANICO Signature Term. It's the only one available. Click create. Let me give you some rules to this. Write these notes down, please. Anything under $250,000. Under $250,000 with American National, it's standard plus is the best rating, and it's automatically going to be classified as a simplified issued product, which means no medical. But you can't get preferred rating. Standards the best that you can get. Anything under $250,000. If you deal with a client that is a non-resident, okay, non-resident meaning they don't have a residency card, a green card, or they're not a U.S. citizen, then the most American National will offer is standard rating under 250,000. Any of the products, just as long as it's under 250,000 standard rating, okay? Which is not the best, right? Like for example, Prudential, I believe, and NLG, they go higher for non-residents. But American National, I'm sorry, NLG doesn't have a GUL platform where this one does. That's why I'm using American National because it is one of the most holistic companies we have that has an answer to almost everything, okay? So if you can get used to this company, you can make this an easy 80 to 90% of the business that you write, and you can really streamline your business because you know it in and out, no problem, okay? So let's do this one for 750,000. 750,000, client's gonna pay monthly. Let's give them a preferred rating, preferred non-tobacco. Now this one right here, this box right here determines what the illustration will look like. So there's ART, annual renewable term, and then there's 10-year term, 15, 20, and 30-year term. Let's do a 30-year term. Right here, okay? Then let's go ahead and do a quick calc right here. This gives you kind of a quick calculation. If the client's paying monthly for a 30-year term, it's $86.18. For a 20-year term, it's $49.25. For a 15-year term, it's $38.88. Right? 10-year, $31.10, ART, $20.74. I'm notorious for selling 20 and 30-year plans. 20 and 30-year plans, 20 and 30-year plans, 20 and 30-year plans. If the client says, man, put me down for a 10-year plan. The only time I'll recommend a 10-year plan is if, for example, it's a court ordered by maybe like a child support, parenting plan agreement, and the child's 8 to 10 years of age, and so there's only really 10 years or so left of that parenting plan. That's one option. Second option, if it's a business transaction, like let's say me and Robertson are opening up a business together and we want to put some life insurance on each other to protect the business and protect ourselves, we'll do a quick 10-year plan. That's typically me, right? You're free to do it how you wish. Maybe you deal with a client that just did a 10-year mortgage, right? Something like that. Quick disclosure, right? 10-year and 15-year plans commission you less. It's not the normal compensation as a 20, 30-year plan, number one, okay? Number two, they can convert into permanent plans, which is a positive. I'm bigger about selling 20 and 30-year plans because I always want the client to get the most amount of coverage for the longest period of time, okay? Now, a couple things you need to know about American National that no other company offers, okay? Are you guys familiar with, let me stop the screen share and give you a full screen of me. I want to see your faces. I want some nodding of heads if possible, por favor. Okay, are you guys familiar with conversion, where you can convert a policy from a term to a permanent without medical underwriting? Are you familiar with that concept? If you're not, okay, Irvin said no. Okay, so a lot of companies, if they offer term and some type of permanent policy, like a whole life, a GUL or an IUL, conversion allows the client to say, hey, I'm going to buy this term, and then maybe next year or the following year or whatever, I'm going to switch it from term to permanent without any medical underwriting. That's called the conversion privilege. The insurance company will give you a guarantee to be able to switch from this product to this product without any medical underwriting. Okay, they're blind to your medical history, right? Can you still get declined? You can. In what circumstance? If you get a felony, guess what? You can't get it. Suspended driver's license because of a DUI, guess what? Can't get it. So those types of things are not medically related. But if it's a medical issue, conversion is blind to medical and lets you convert from term to permanent. Does that make sense? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So American National is the only company that'll let you go from annual renewable term to another term, to like a 10-year or 15-year or 20-year or 30-year term. And then from that term that you convert to, you could switch it again. You could do a second conversion into a permanent plan. They're the only company that does that. Most companies will only let you go from term to perm, from term product to permanent product. This is the only one that lets you go from ART to term to permanent product. Where is this advantageous for you? Watch this. This is where it's advantageous. You deal with a client that's on a really, really tight budget, right? I mean, so tight that they can't even afford a 20-year term. But, excuse me, but they want coverage. They want to protect themselves, and they see their financial situation changing in the near future. What do you want to do? You want to sell them an annual renewable term, and then next year convert it into a regular term when they can afford the level product. And then a couple years from there, you can convert it into a permanent product. That makes perfect sense, right? Let me ask this question, and I want you guys to unmute yourselves and give me an answer. What is the one thing that can cause an immediate 20 to 30% increase in your monthly premiums while you're going through underwriting if they find out you do this? Immediate 20 to 30% increase in premium.
Smoking.
Smokers, correct. You want to know one thing that's going to immediately cost more money? Smoker. I mean, let me show you here. I'll show you on the illustration. Notice a 30-year product for me, non-smokers, $86.18. $86.18 per month. If I switch myself to a nicotine user, so everything is the same except for now I'm nicotine, $286. That's more than a 20-30% hike up. That's a big hike. That is a big one, right? Look at Irvin's face right now. Woo! Man, that cigarette ain't worth it, right? It's a much higher risk. I mean, it went from $86 to $286. That is a 300% increase, pretty much, right? In price, just because of smoker, right? So you deal with someone who's a smoker and they look at those numbers, they're like, nah, bro, I can't even afford it, dude. I'm quitting, but I can't afford it. Watch this. American National has a 1-year non-smoker provision. 1 year. If someone quits smoking, they have to be a non-smoker for at least 1 year before they can get a non-smoker rating. 1 year. Most companies is 2 years, maybe even 3 years. American National is 1 year. So if I talk to that smoker and I say, listen, let's sell you, right? Let's sell you an annual renewable term. And as a smoker, right? Standard nicotine, annual renewable term smoker. Quick calc. That's going to cost you $40.82. Somebody's writing. I think it's CJ. CJ, you're writing on my screen, girl. He's like, oh my God, I didn't know. Okay, so it's $40.82 for an annual renewable term. That's all good. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to put a reminder on my system, on my CRM. Hey, Mr. Klein, I'm going to reach back out to you on the 13th month. 13 months after this policy's been in place, I'm going to reach out to you. You need to make sure you stop smoking. You got to stop smoking for 12 months. Can you stop smoking for 12 months? Yes, I can. Okay, good. I'm going to call you on the 13th month. If you're a non-smoker on the 13th month, we're going to convert this term product, this annual renewable term, into a 30-year or a 20-year regular term. But now we're going to convert it as a non-smoker. Now, listen, American National is going to require you to do an oral swab because they're going to need to do a nicotine test. But as long as you come up as a non-smoker and 1 year's passed, we're going to be able to get you a 30-year term product as a non-smoker, which means the very next year, Mr. Client, preferred non-tobacco, the very next year, Mr. Client, a 30-year policy is going to cost you $86. Is that not a pretty good solution? Right? That's pretty good. That's a solution for you, right? This is what you could do with the term product, right? Now let's take a look at the illustration here real quick. You guys okay if I go an extra 20 more minutes? You guys good with that? Yeah, okay. If you need to hop off, I respect it. Preview illustration right here. We're gonna look at the 30-year term. Look how clean this is, guys. Look how clean this illustration is. I mean, that's really nice, y'all, right? It gives you, look, it's talking about, your term benefits, your accelerated death benefits, your conversion benefits, right? It's very nice. Gives you a background on the company, right? Look at the company. It's an A-rated company by third-party rating companies, right? S&P, Standard & Poor's rating, and AM Best, right? A rating. Company was established in 1905. You're not dealing with a rookie company, right? They've got $22 billion in assets. You're dealing with one of the top of the top. That's pretty much what I'm showing you. You're dealing with one of the best, okay? Now, let's talk about these benefits. Look at this. Terminal illness, 24 months. 12 months if it's the state of Florida. What does terminal illness mean? Terminal illness means if the doctor declares that this client is going to die because of a medical reason within less than 24 months in every state except for Florida, which is 12 months. Okay. Most insurance companies is 12 months across the board. But if the doctor says you got less than 24 months left to live, as long as you're not in Florida, you're going to be able to tap into this death benefit while you're alive. The other one is this critical illness one. Critical illness is enormous. It is, look at the list of things that are counted as a critical illness. If you develop one of these conditions, you can tap into your death benefit while you're alive. Look at it right there. Heart attacks, strokes, end-stage renal failure, invasive cancers, major organ transplant, ALS, paralysis, arterial aneurysms, blindness, central nervous system and tumors in the central nervous system, major multi-system trauma, right? That's a major multi-system traumas. That's like a car accident where you go through major multi-system traumas, right? Like your kidneys are gone, your lungs are gone, right? I'm talking, you got multiple massive organs that are going through trauma, right? AIDS, severe disease of any organ, severe central nervous system disease, major burns. That's not a medical illness. That's a physical critical illness type stuff. That's a critical injury, not my apologies, not an illness, an injury. Loss of a limb, right? That could be because of a car accident or, you know, a freak accident, right? Why do I show this to you? Most companies' critical illness list does not include major burns, does not include major multi-system trauma, does not include loss of limb, because none of those three are illnesses. Those are actually injuries, right? So for those of you that are competing sometimes with, say, National Life Group, right? You're dealing with a client who has NLG, and granted, we sell NLG, but our job is to be brokers and to present opportunities. NLG is very costly. It's overpriced. I don't want to say overpriced. That's the wrong choice of words. They're more costly than this. And they like to claim that they have 4 categories of living benefits: terminal, critical illness, critical injury, and chronic illness. 4. American National claims 3, but that's because they took injury and illness and they combined it in one classification, one group. So technically they're both providing the same living benefits. It's just that American National chose not to segregate critical illness and injury, and they classify it as one. Does that make sense? But it's all there, it's all covered, right? I love this right here. Like, if I was you guys, I'd run some illustrations on your own, right? Then, and you want to block out this information here on the client, but take a screenshot of that and use that as advertising, right? And use this critical illness. This is what we're going to cover you against. Boom, 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 boom. You know what we love to do with health insurance? We go, Mr. Client, your health insurance is, you know, it's got a $5,000 deductible. If you go to the hospital because of a heart attack, because of stroke, or because of a cancer, or anything in that category, you know, you got to pay that $5,000 before the doctors work on you, right? I didn't know that. Yeah, you do. Well, this term insurance policy has this critical illness rider that gives you access to this cash in the event that you develop that. You know what you could do with that cash that they're giving you? You can use it to pay the deductible on your health insurance, and then let the health insurance pay the rest of the medical bills, and use the remaining money here to pay for your living expenses and your mortgage and your electric and the water and the time that you're out of work, and replace your income and do whatever it needs to do. Because this money from this insurance is used to pay the deductible on your health insurance. You want to know why I keep talking about selling health insurance? Because of that right there. That one little thing right there, that cross-selling opportunity right there. It's huge. It's enormous. It's enormous, right? Let's keep going. Look at the illustration. Look at this sexy illustration, right? Premium outlay, boom, 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 boom. This is the annual renewable term, ART, right? ART says $249 a year. Let me explain what annual renewable term means, okay? For those of you that don't understand. Life insurance in the term world is either level or what's called increasing. Did I really just do that? I'm recording this. Am I recording? I'm good. I wrote that list down because I needed to keep it in track and I just erased it. But I recorded this so I can go back.
I was just thinking, he erased that list and didn't take a picture.
I recorded it. I'm good. All right, so look. Right, this is time. This is money. When you buy a 20-year level plan, this is how your policy works. Your price is the same for a 20-year period. And then boom, falls off. If you bought a 30-year plan, the price is going to cost you a little bit more, but it'll last for 30 years. And then boom, it falls off. Right? Pretty kind of simple to understand. Annual renewable says, man, we're going to price you right here. It's going to start off really low, much lower than 20-year term and 30-year term. However, this is what's going to happen as the years go on. As time goes on, it's going to cost more money, more money, more money. That line is actually more like this. Hold on 1 second. This would be a little bit more correct. That line is actually more like this. Right? So annual renewable starts off really cheap. And then every year it renews, it renews, it renews, it renews, it renews. It's guaranteed to renew, so you're not going to lose the coverage as long as you can afford the new price. It renews based on your new age, right? And let's be honest, does insurance cost more money the older you are or young, or does it cost less the older you are? It costs more. So if you're getting older, it's costing more, costing more, costing more, costing more, costing more. So if you sell an annual renewable term to a smoker, right? They need to understand they have to stop smoking for at least 1 year so that then they can switch to one of these. Because if you think about it, right, compared to a 30-year plan, right? The client is saving all of this by getting an annual renewable term. However, right here, when they break even, now they're paying all of this versus what they could have been saving here. That makes sense? That's what annual renewable is what 30-year level is, right? Or 20-year level, right? That's kind of how it works. So when you look at the illustration, look at the price, $249 first year, and then $288, and then $327 the next year, and then $358, and then $397 next year, and then $443, and then $498. See how the price, oh crap, so the price keeps going up. Every year it goes up and up and up and up and up and up. I mean, look, 11 years, on the 11th year, it costs $4,800 a year. On the 11th year. Who would keep that? Nobody would. The first 10 years are super cheap, $249 a year to $677 a year. Not a big difference. But the 11th year, boom, $4,800. By the 20th year, you're paying $9 grand a year to keep it. It becomes astronomically expensive on the back end. So the only time I sell an annual renewable term, maybe it's because the client's going to convert it into a level term and budgetarily they can't afford it. Smoker reason as an example, right? Maybe they only want 10 years of coverage because of, again, what I just mentioned, to cover a parenting plan requirement that the court ordered and the child will be 18 by that age, or to cover a business arrangement between two business partners that are getting in business together. But I am much more commonly selling 20-year and 30-year level plans versus these annual renewable terms because I don't run into those situations often. Does anybody have any questions about that? Yes, no, no, maybe.
I wanted to know, does COVID count as a chronic illness or anything? Is it figured in there?
If you're out of commission for more than 90 days, just so you know, all of these conditions require a 90-day out of commission. It isn't like, oh, I had a heart attack on Monday, but I'm back at work next Monday, right? You've got to be out of commission because of that situation for a 90-day period for it to count as a chronic or a critical, right? So COVID, right? So let me tell you what's happening with COVID, because I actually have this happening right now with one of my agents' clients. Okay. 27-year-old female caught COVID. Okay. She ended up getting hospitalized, needed a breathing machine. It got worse. It got worse to the point where they had to medically induce her into a coma because her lungs just couldn't handle it. That then led to her needing an Ecmo machine. An Ecmo machine is a machine that filters the blood and oxygenates the blood. So now she's on a ventilator, she's on an Ecmo machine. And then because of the medication and everything that's so strong that she's taking, because I mean, she's on some tough medication to medically induce a coma, that's some tough medication. Her kidneys are now failing, and so she's got to go on dialysis. So indirectly, yes, it's a living benefit claim, right? It's not categorized under COVID, but because COVID caused for her lungs to fail, her kidneys to fail, that's considered major organ failure. And then therefore now it's a living benefit claim because she needs a nurse to take care of her, right? She's medically induced into a coma. You know what I mean? She needs, she needs somebody to change her and, feed her through an IV machine and everything. That's considered a living benefit chronic illness. Does that make sense, Bailey?
It does. I was thinking as when we talked earlier, because I have that IUL and everything that you just said, I've had all that except for the kidney issues. But I never even looked at, filing that. But does that take away for later on?
Yes. If you're tapping into your living benefits, you're reducing your face amount. So you got $500,000 and you qualify for $100,000 of living benefit, you're taking that $500,000 and bringing it down to $400,000. Does that make sense? Yeah, you're all you're doing is you're accelerating the benefits in your name. Now, let me tell you something, because we're not going to finish everything with American National. I'm not. We're gonna finish it here, and I think in our next training I'll do GUL and IUL, because the mind has an X amount of time period where it can capture the information. After that, it's just in one ear out the other. But let me tell you something that is imperative for all of you guys to do. Okay, you guys know the Kaizen Soulmate packet that I talk about constantly. It has the Kaizen Soulmate packet has a will, right? A power of attorney for finance, and a medical care directive. A medical care directive is basically like the person's last wishes if they go to the hospital, like do resuscitate or do not resuscitate type of documentation. This is something that is happening right now as we speak. I need you to understand this. A death benefit, because the person dies, can be filed by the beneficiary, right? So my beneficiary on my policies is Sandra and my mother, right? If I die, my family, all they need to do is show my insurance company my death certificate, and Sandra gets her money as a beneficiary and my mother gets her money as a beneficiary, right? However, if I have a living benefit need, meaning I didn't die, but I'm in a coma, the only person who can file a living benefit claim is me. Not my mom, not Sandra, because they're the beneficiary of my death. Living benefit has to be filed by me. What if I'm in a coma and I can't file that claim myself? What if I get into a car accident and end up in a coma and I can't file that claim myself? What if I get into an accident, I get brain trauma, now I'm not able, right? I've got brain damage, I'm dealing with that, and I don't have the ability to call and file the claim myself. You know what happens to that living benefit? Nothing. No one can tap into it. No one can tap into it. The only solution at that point in time would be my family going to the court, requesting an immediate emergency power of attorney over my decisions. And then that person whoever has that power of attorney can then call the insurance company and file the living benefit claim on my behalf. You see all those extra loops, all those extra hoops, right? So why do I say this? You should deliver to every one of your clients a Kaizen Soulmate packet, and you should have that conversation with them about the importance of having a power of attorney document in hand ready to go. Because if I didn't have a power of attorney on myself, and my family has no court to get they have no choice but to get the court to issue one, right? A court ordered power of attorney, because I can't sign my own power of attorney. I'm in a coma. But if I'm live and well, like I am right now, right? I could sign a financial power of attorney right now, and I can assign a power of attorney, so that if I end up in that scenario and I have no ability to respond for myself, somebody can respond for myself, and they don't got to go to the court to get that answered. Does that make sense? Any questions?
Yeah, so
That's,
what
that's awesome that you do that. As a medical professional, I encourage everyone to always have a power of attorney, have a DNR if they want a DNR, but have some type of advanced directives, because I spend a lot of time trying to facilitate conversations with people on what to do next when my patient is in a coma, or they're unable to talk, or they're unable to make any decisions. And then you have 5 family members all trying to chime in.
100%, 100%, 100%. Tanisha, you had a question.
yeah, so what happens in a husband and wife scenario? Because typically, like a spouse can speak and make decisions for their significant other. So is it not the same, even though in other ways and rights?
Not in life insurance.
Not with life insurance.
Not with
Okay.
insurance. So a spouse has the right to make medical decisions, right? DNR, do not resuscitate, right? Give them this medication, don't give them this medication. They have that right, but they cannot call the insurance company and file the claim on their behalf. Life insurance is based on the individual, especially if you live in a non-commutal state, which is, like, you have to check that, but like the state of Florida is a non-commutal state, which means, his assets are his, her assets are hers. And unless you assign it as a joint account, it's not going to be treated as a joint account. So that's
Okay.
also has nothing to do with it with regards to insurance.
And then you said that people have to wait 90 days before they tap into the critical terminal, those types of benefits.
Not every one of them. Some of them are like 60 days, right? But there is a waiting period. It's not like, oh, I got it, next day file the claims.
So really, you really couldn't say that they can use it to pay the deductible. They can use it to be reimbursed for the deductible, right? Because you have to pay the deductible in some cases sooner than that time period.
Which is where a hospital indemnity plan is another solution as well too, because a hospital indemnity doesn't have that 90-day or 60-day waiting period. Correct, right? Some circumstances, for example, like cancers, right? Nowadays, a lot of people can be, diagnosed with cancer, and they could work for a month, 2 months, 3 months without any real problems, And so sometimes if someone's on a tight budget and they don't have a hospital indemnity plan, or they don't have the money in the savings for the deductible, they have no choice but to wait 90 days. They want to get treatment started, they want to get chemo started, but they don't have that $5,000 deductible that they got to pay. So they have no choice but to just make their insurance premium payments and wait the 90 days so that their living benefit can kick out the money. You know what I mean? So, again, here's the reality. There's not one product that'll be a solve for all scenario. That's why it's important that you know what all the options are. What would be, in my opinion, the most iron-proof scenario? You should have a major medical plan. You should have a hospital indemnity plan. You should have a living benefit type of life insurance policy. And you should have 6 months worth of emergency money sitting in a savings account. That's the most ideal scenario, because now you have choices. You have different things you can tap in during different timelines. But someone who's on a very tight budget, maybe all they can afford is an Affordable Care Act major medical plan where the government is paying the majority of the premiums, and then a $50 a month term life policy because they can't even afford a hospital indemnity. Like, maybe that is all they can do. So having something's not better than having anything. Does that make sense? Cool. Okay, let me show you this last piece of the puzzle here, since we talked about the Kaizen Soulmate packet, because that is a huge seller, just so you guys know. That's something that I talk about to almost every one of my clients, and letting them know if they decide to take action and work with me and then allow me to be their agent. These are some of the perks of working with someone like Tony Martinez, and you guys should do the same thing. If you log into the TKO website, you go right here to Documents and Resources. You click it, you open up Documents and Resources. Come on now, reload. There it is. It takes you to OneDrive. Right here, you can go to Kaizen Soulmate right there. You click it, and here's a flyer. I have a brochure. Like, I'm gonna open up the brochure. For people that like to buy final expense leads and knock on the doors of people who don't answer the phones, I would definitely print out a couple of those, staple your business card, and leave it on their door. Number one, you can't leave it in the mailbox. That's a federal crime. You can't open up someone's mailbox, just so you know. Don't do that. But nothing stops you from leaving it on their door, right? But if you buy some leads and people aren't answering the phone call, and you're gonna do a day of door knocking and you knock on some doors, people who don't answer the door, leave them this flyer. Let them know, hey, listen, I stopped by. I'm your local insurance agent. I just want to share with you some of the things that we have to offer. This just kind of explains what the Kaizen Soulmate packet is and what it does, right? That's the marketing aspect of it. But the real flyer, the real Kaizen Soulmate is this one right here. What I would do if I was you, I would print it in some cream colored document, cream colored paper, bind it really nice, right? And read it. It has a letter, explains it. It has a section for you as the beneficiary, you as the insured, to write a last message to your family, your loved ones, right? It has policy information, agent contact information. It's almost like an emergency medical. It's almost like an emergency kit you want to give your beneficiary. Like, hey, if something happens to me, this document has all my policy numbers, all my balances, all my account numbers, all the contact information, everything you need, so you can get access to my assets, right? It has that, the beneficiaries, the bank accounts, assets, liabilities, it has it all. And then this part is for you, the agent. You don't send this to the client, you follow these instructions, right? Notice I wrote stop. This is for the agent. This is for the agent to do, not the client. Remove this page and add the legal documents. How you get the legal documents is this website right here, eforms.com. Go to personal forms. You click last will and testament, select the state that you live in, right? And then download. I would then do the same thing with the advanced directive form and a durable financial power of attorney. Those are the three main documents that, by going to this website, you can pick your state and download state approved documentation that sometimes people pay $500 to $1,000 for an estate planner to put together. You can download those and give those to them. You cannot fill them out. You cannot notarize it. You don't want to do any of that stuff. You definitely don't want to put yourself in that position. It's a conflict of interest if you're the notary to the will that's being used to cover the life insurance policy that you also wrote. It's a conflict of interest, right? But you can give them the documentation, explain to them what it does, and let them know, I would get this done. Get with an attorney, or get with a notary and fill it out. Because if something happens, excuse my French when I say it this way, if shit hits the fan, right, you need to have these documents in play before shit hits the fan, not after. Because afterwards, you might not be able to respond for yourself and sign off on those types of documentations. This is enormous. And I guarantee you, no insurance agency right now is teaching their agents to do this right here. This is an extra. This is a go above and beyond type scenario, right? Because we can't charge for this. You can't. You got to give it to them and explain to them what it does and provide it. From a marketing standpoint, it could help you gain the client. I'm not going to tell you that it doesn't help in order to gain the relationship if they know the extra things that they're going to get by working with you. But this is something you should give them. Robertson and I just closed on a case, husband and wife. They're 73 years of age. They got 3 kids. I don't know if they have their things in place. I know that these things would be good to have in place because 3 siblings could fight for the money, could fight for what's going to happen with the money. This just already kind of, it directs everything, right? The will, here's who the money goes to. The power of attorney, this person can make financial decisions if I'm not able to, AKA living benefit claims, right? And then the medical care directive is the the DNR. If I happen to go under, this is what I want you guys to decide for me. I'm going to decide it for me without you guys having to decide it. Does that make sense? Cool. Any questions? Was this beneficial?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's the goal. This coming Saturday, we're going to continue with this series of American National, and we'll do the GUL, we'll do the IUL, because all we really tapped into was the term life insurance, but we added a lot of meat to this training that I think is very beneficial and valuable. I'm going to stay on for another minute for any kind of Q&A. I'm going to cut off the recording, and you guys are free to go. I appreciate you guys staying on a little extra. Have a great rest of the evening. Go after those goals this month, guys. Go after the goals this month. Look, the reason I did American National, just so you guys know, and I posted a picture of it on the group chat. American National has a cash bonus incentive that's going on right now. Cash in your hands. Cash, right? I mean, literally, if you can turn in before the end of this year, right? It goes till December 31st. If you could submit, 20,000 in issue place business, there's $450 worth of cash bonus. 10,000 of issue place, 10,000 of business, $200 cash bonus. 5,000, you get $100 cash bonus. It might only be $100, maybe 200, maybe 450, but heck, it's free cash. Why not? You got to submit it by December 31st. You got to issue it by January 14th. Submit by December 31st this month. Issue it by January 14th. Like, go make this year a killer for yourselves. I mean, literally go and kill it, and don't wait till 2022 January. You can start now. You can start now by pipelining and talking and planting seeds. And yes, more people than normal are going to tell you, no, not right now. Wait till the end of the year. No, not right now. After the holidays. But by planting those seeds now, you're going to get some people that'll take action now. You're going to get some people where that's on their New Year's resolutions, and you're planting the seeds, giving you permission at the first week of January to be like, hey, listen, you wanted me to hit you up after the holidays. Let's talk now. Let's talk now. Let's talk now. But you got to do it now. You got to start now. Okay. Have a good one. Be blessed, and bye-bye.